Two just quick questions. First, a housekeeping question. What's the latest on Andre? Has the swelling in his knee gone down, and do you expect him to play tomorrow?
Questionable for tomorrow.
Yeah. And then just really quick, you guys have won at least one away game in, I think, 26 consecutive playoff series. What is it that you guys are able to do that kind of weaponizes the opponent's floor and have that success?
It doesn't have anything to do with strategy. It just has to do with having a lot of talent and guys who are really competitive. So that's the combination it takes to win on the road in the playoffs.
Here on the left.
Steve, Youngsagi ESPN. Along those lines, too, you guys have been very good at taking the very first road game this postseason. Is there anything in particular to that approach?
I think just our playoff experience, our guys understand the importance of making sure you don't let your guard down, in that first playoff game. So I think, I would expect tomorrow to be really competitive right from the start. We know they're going to bring a level of physicality, that we brought last game, and we got to be prepared for that. And I think, should be a great game.
Anthony on the left.
Yeah, I think Clay is like 10 of 32. What has the film told you about the shots he's taken? Which ones do you like? Which ones don't you like?
Yeah, I think he's just pressing a little bit. He just wants so badly to do well that he's taking some bad ones. I'm not particularly concerned about it because this isn't the first time it's happened. Clay has a way of responding to mini slumps or whatever you want to call them. So the point of emphasis will be, let's make sure we get good rhythm shots early, and if we do that individually and as a team, then it puts everybody in a better position.
Brandon on the right.
Steve, Brandon Scoopy Robinson, Valley Sports. Draymond called Wiggins the best wing defender on your team, and he proved it going against Jason Tatum, despite Tatum's 28. When you look at just what he's been able to bring throughout the playoffs, guarding some of the best perimeter players, I guess for you, are you surprised? Are you impressed?
I'm impressed. I'm not surprised. Wiggs has shown since we've had him the last couple of years that he can be an excellent defender. He's got great size, length, athleticism, and I think over the last couple of years he's just gotten more and more attentive. He's just gotten more on edge and ready for what's coming next. I think part of it is just playing with Draymond and Steph and Clay and playing with guys who've been around championship basketball and them really imploring him to be that guy for us because we desperately needed that. So when Wiggs recognized that was the role that was needed, he really locked in and got better and better.
Tim in the middle.
Hey, Steve, have you seen Jordan Poole kind of click into something? He's obviously been working through a lot, and especially in the finals. Have you seen something click for him, maybe even at this finals level in the last game?
Well, he made some shots last game. I think the biggest thing with Jordan is he just has great confidence and belief in himself, which allows him to respond, to a bad game or a tough shooting stretch, whatever it is. We've seen him have monster games in the playoffs. We've seen him have some tough ones, but he's never afraid. He never shies away, and I think that's one of his best qualities.
Sam on the left.
Steve, we've been talking to you for a very long time about Draymond and his passion and what it does for the group. I do wonder, coming off game 2, as far as that idea of him pushing the envelope, the stuff with the Celtics, the stuff with the refs, is it one of those situations where you talk to him going into game 3 about, where we want the edge and the line to be, or do you just let him be him? How did you see that aspect?
No, just let him be him. He's at his best when he's passionate and emotional, and I thought he played a great game the other night. He got the early tech, but he left the officials alone all night, and You know, the play is always going to be physical in the playoffs, and you know, being physical is part of it. So the main thing is you have to leave the officials alone, and Draymond did a good job of that.
Question in the back left.
Steve, great defensive game by Steph Curry. Do you believe he's underrated as an asset on the defensive side of the ball, and why?
Very underrated. He's more physical than people give him credit for. He's really competitive. You know, he sticks with the game plan. He's not afraid to stick his nose in there and be really aggressive. But he does it in a way that shows his experience. You know, he understands where to draw the line, you know, there have been times over the years where he's gotten himself into foul trouble, but I think he's gotten better and better in terms of not reaching and yet still being in front of his man, staying in front of his man and stopping penetration.
Last couple of questions. Connor on the right.
Connor Letourneau, San Francisco Chronicle. Steve, kind of building off that, when did you really see Steph transition from being a solid, decent defender to consistently good defensively?
I think it's really developed over the last 3 or 4 years. You know, during that stretch when we played Houston and Cleveland in the playoffs, you know, both teams would go at him constantly, and he was already a pretty good defender at the time. But I think he felt, you know, what teams were going to do. I think that in turn informed his offseason regimen. He got stronger. I think you can see the change in his body, you know, now compared to 6-7 years ago, and he's just upped his level of conditioning to the point where he can guard 50 screen and rolls a game and run 50 screen and rolls a game. Not many people can do that.
Last question in the middle.
Steve, Shane Young with Forward Sports. Otto gets a lot of credit for his shot making, spacing, and his rebounding. Is there something that to you maybe goes under the radar when it comes to him and being able to fit into different lineup configurations?
He's just always in the right place at both ends. He understands spacing on offense. He understands ball movement, and then defensively, he's just a really good team defender. You know, with his rotations, boxing out. He's an excellent rebounder. He's just a really good basketball player, and with his versatility, you know, his size and his ability to switch across positions, he's just a hugely valuable player for us.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.